it's me, Ingrid INFP, and I wanted to talk about INFP diplomacy. And this is an important topic because the NFs in several websites and sources are described as the diplomats. The INFPs are often described as the mediator or the healer, but mostly the mediator. And sometimes it feels a little bit like contradictory because, isn't FE more of the mediating function? But I'm here to say that no, yes, FE is a mediating function, but INFPs are called a mediator for a reason. And I'm not just talking about my own life, in my family, I'm often the mediator because my brother is much younger than me and my parents are, they're my parents. So I kind of often am the mediator between my brother and my parents. But I'm also often a mediator between my parents, which isn't as great, And it's just like kind of fit into that role. And I want to refer back to a video that Dulles made a while ago. Dulles made a video about like what is the purpose of the INFP? What is the purpose of the INFP's life? That might sound like a very pretentious name, but it actually is like, what is the INFP's purpose and what is it that makes the INFP important in society? And what he came up with is that INFPs, they go to a foreign culture and try to connect with this new culture. And they can create a sense of understanding between cultures, a kind of like a messenger or a mediator or a diplomat. And so because you're kind of always on the outside as an INFP, it lends you to trying to understand different cultures more and being open to different kinds of people and what they believe, and being able to reach harmony with these people, despite not always agreeing, And I find that is true in my life as well. And in general, INFPs, we're not just like completely in our own bubble. And the reason that I made this video is because we were joking with Schumann, our favorite INTP on this channel. Okay, we love the INTPs on this channel. Some of them are very adamant that I respond back pretty quickly. I'm looking at you, Dave Fangler, but also Schumann, and also some other INTPs. Apparently, INTPs have this thing where like they get really insecure if I don't respond to their comment within a few days. I have seen your comment. I am not ignoring you. I just don't really know how to respond because often the comment is so well constructed that like to respond with the same level of attention would take me a lot of time and energy that I sometimes don't have. But we were joking that we were creating INTP diplomacy, and we were like shaking hands, shaking hands. There is no conflicts really between INTP and INFP. It's just that we are like such different species of alien. We're both aliens, we're just different species of aliens, so we don't like connect with each other and we don't connect with the world, but we do want to get along, and so we are working at this diplomacy. And like I might not understand how an INTP brain works, but I can try to understand. I can try to connect with them, and I can compromise on my own ideas and beliefs and way of viewing the world for a time, with some distance, and see how it is from another person's perspective, and maybe agree to their perspective at the same time as agreeing with my perspective, and it's not like I am very stubborn, so I'm going to keep on believing what I believe, but it's just I will leave some space for other interpretations of the world, other perspectives. In Personality Hacker, they call NI perspectives. But I think that FI, together with NE, can be another kind of seeing all the perspectives. NE together with TI can be perspectives, but it's in another realm. It's in the realm of things rather than the realm of people. So I think that we are pretty good at diplomacy, if we could call it that, We're good at trying to keep the peace, at trying to understand, trying to create connection, and to avoid friction and create a solution that works for everyone. I have been thinking about that quite a bit lately, actually, because I've been at psychiatry just for a few days, but soon I'm going to be kind of infiltrating the psychiatry because I'll be doing my placement in psychiatry for 3 months, and I'll only be at my workplace 1 day a week, like my old workplace. And so my whole thing about being there is that I am kind of like the diplomatic agent, from the general practice primary care, coming to like visit the world of the psychiatric clinic with the psychiatrists, and the psychologists and everything. And so I have the perspective of the general practice, but I will be entering this new world, and I'm kind of the representative of primary care, Otherwise, these people at these psychiatrists don't have contact with primary care doctors. Basically, I am the representative. And so I might be able to create some change. I also might be able to create some change both in psychiatry and at my home clinic, at the primary care. Because the primary care, they have to know so much about so much, but maybe I can get some tips from the psychiatrists about how to better do things, and I can give the psychiatrist some tips about how to take care of, how to see things from a primary care perspective. So for example, like at my GP clinic that I work at usually, we have 1 psychologist, we have 2 psychotherapists, so counselors, and we have specialist doctors who aren't completely updated on what is the latest within psychiatry, and so we follow these guidelines that are national guidelines, that are like, first you start with Cipralex, and then you go to sertraline, and then you go to trying another thing like venlafaxine or mirtazapine, and then you go to like what's the next thing on the list. It could be Brintellix, or it could be whatever else. So at number 6 on this list, you get to bupropion, which is Voxra. And the psychiatrists, they want us usually to start with step number 7, instead of starting with our guidelines or step number 1. And so a colleague of mine pointed out to the psychiatrist that, well, usually we have to follow guidelines, and the guidelines say that you have to start with Cipralex. We can't do what you guys say. And they were like, yeah, but maybe that doesn't work. So we were like, yeah, but at the same time, we can't pretend to have the same expertise that you guys have as a psychiatrist. You guys are used to these antidepressants because that's the only medications, like you use antipsychotics too, and you use ADHD medicines, but like that's your expertise, and we can't work in the same way that you work, but we do understand that why you work that way. So in that way, I'm kind of like the foreign diplomats from a foreign country coming to this new land and trying to reach some kind of compromise, some kind of like general guidelines that could work for my home clinic. And maybe I can help my home clinic, get more up to date into like what is the best treatment for these different mental conditions. So that's why I was thinking a lot about like, okay, so I have this new role as a diplomat in this placement, and I need to take this knowledge that I'm getting, not just for myself, but also for my workplace, because I will be getting insight that a lot of the older senior doctors have gotten like, 10, 20 years in the past, and it's maybe not up to date. And it's my responsibility kind of as a resident to bring that knowledge back to my workplace once I come back there. And that's why it's still going to be my primary care boss that is going to be paying me while I'm at psychiatry. And so it's because what I'm doing is going to be an asset to my workplace. So there are many different ways of seeing diplomacy, so either in relationships or at work, or, in intertype diplomacy. I don't know what it is about INFP functions that makes it called the mediator. I think that there's also the fact that you can mediate between worlds, kind of, not saying that we're astral projecting or that we're psychic, but we can kind of go into the world of fairy tales, and that idealized world that we have, and the real world, and try to get the real world closer towards what we strive the good world to be, and so that's kind of mediating these two worlds, not just people. I think because we are so in tune with different feelings, different codes of ethics and values and such, and we're always looking for new possibilities. So that's where we are exposed to new values and find that exciting, and we're curious about people in general. So that's where I think it comes from. I do think that, INFJs might be like ENFJs and INFJs are a little bit more like they assemble people together for like a common goal. I think the INFPs and ENFPs can do this as well. It's just in a very different manner. I think that people just see ENFPs and INFPs and want to be more authentically themselves, and then show their individuality, and how we can all coexist within that. Like, we can all coexist as individuals. So tell me what you guys think. I think that I'm probably glossing over a lot about diplomacy because I'm not a diplomat. I do have to deal with a lot of different kinds of people every day. But I think that it is an important concept because it's in the MBTI, it's in the descriptions of the types and all that. So yeah, have a good day. Bye.